Hey everybody, Sarah Strat Sniper here. What a crazy week we just had. Quad wedging in the books and a huge move straight off the lows. So let's get into it. Last week I talked about this tightening range in the SPY. We had a swing high, a swing low, a lower high, a higher low, lower high, higher low, and then boom, market picked its direction. This is the weekly time frame. So 2 weeks ago, we held February's lows, couldn't take it out. And if you remember, I said that I didn't think that we would be able to take that out because the range was so large. This week, we opened down here, we held the lows, started coming back up, and then we had a 2 down, 2 up weekly reversal. Okay, so what that means is the entry was at 432 and the target was at 441, and we hit that and then some. You see this huge broadening formation we have right here. Okay, the center of it is right about the 450 level. Been kind of a magnet lately because, again, this is the monthly time frame, but if you look at all the candles that have touched this horizontal 450 level, it's 1, 2, 3, not that one, 4, 5, 6, and we're trying to come back and gun for that level. So that would be 7 out of the last 8 months. So I feel like we just can't seem to get away from that level. QQQ has actually been a bit more volatile. We actually made new lower lows on the monthly by just a tick. So just enough to stop everybody out who had super tight stops at February's low. And then what a week to know about the 50% rule and potential outside bars. Okay, we've got so many outside bars this week. So basically looking at this weekly chart right here, this shows you that the bears tried. They made a new lower low, but they did not keep stepping up. So what happened was we got a new low break, which can also be called a liquidity break or a stop hunt, which we don't like. I don't like to use that word because that's just how price action works. You know, big money has to get filled on all these orders, these stop loss orders sitting here. So that's where they get filled. And then we know what the 50% rule is in becoming a potential outside bar. We must take out one side and then retrace 50% and target the other side of the previous candle. This, though, we actually got this target, the 338 target, and we got the second target of 350. And if you look on the daily, it's a very important daily pivot lower high. So we kind of have a shift in market structure right now. Bulls have taken back control. Going into next week, we have come straight from the lows and just gone straight up for 4 days. So from the lows, we have moved almost 11% without any corrective activity. So I think a lot of people have FOMO right now. They feel like, oh my God, I missed all of this. So thinking psychologically, bulls are happy. You know, if anybody took this new low and decided to go long with their stop down here, they are super comfortable. They have 4 days of straight up price action. So what would somebody with FOMO want to see? They would want to see some corrective activity. So a pullback, okay, and then a new higher high. So I feel like next week, that's what we're going to want to be looking for. And then we can get in on a 2 down, 2 up reversal if you miss this move and would like to get back in. Because what the chart is just telling us is We made new lows, but they're not following through. They're not sticking. And all those traders who believe in the death cross and blah, 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 blah. When the death cross happens, you're basically going short the bottom. And that's not what we want to be doing, okay? We want to trade price action. And in hindsight, looking back, a great entry, an exhaustion risk entry, would have been right there. And why is that? Because we made a new low compared to this one, compared to this one. And then the next day, we got no follow through. We got a 2 down, 2 up reversal, and then just off to the races. So even though we just made new lows, anytime we were above this week's open, we had full time frame continuity on the green side on the weekly down. So that's why time frame continuity is so important. It's so important to understand it, understand that it changes on a live candle. So when we were red full time frame continuity, when we made new lows, we changed that the moment we started trading above this week's open, which was at 323.13. IWM. So IWM did not make a lower low. It did become a weekly outside bar. And again, if we want to stick with this bull thesis, pretty much it's going to be the same thing for all these names. I'm going to want to see daily corrective activity or a pullback, and then I'm going to want to enter on a 2 down, 2 up reversal back into full time frame continuity. Risk reward wise, not smart to be entering right here or right now. You want to wait for a TTO or the pullback. VIX. Okay, so these lines are all from last week, so that's kind of fun because we get to see what we were looking at. Let's focus on the weekly. I stated that we had a bearish rev strat setting up. So if we broke below 28.84, you would want to be short the VIX. And that would be target 1. That would be target 2. Bada bing, bada boom. It hit them both. Gold. Same thing. These lines are from last week. Looking at the weekly chart, I was saying that you needed a pullback. You needed corrective activity. So I said if we break below 183, your target's going to be, right around here, 176. You got pretty close to that. Right now, gold bugs would like to see a 2 up going into the following week. So next week, you would want to break above this week's high. That would be your target. That's a pretty big target because these candles are much, much bigger than they have been in recent weeks. So that's because the volatility has picked up. Gold, you would want to go long above 183.29. That would be your weekly reversal back into full time frame continuity. And it's also great because that's right at the level that you exited your longs at. So you exit your longs right here. You don't have to sit through all this corrective activity, and then you can just re-enter whenever we break above that level. So you really don't skip a beat. XLE, same thing. I said we hit an important pivot, 79.42. I said you might want to exit your longs if we break below 73.50, even though we're back above it now. You never know. It could have gone all the way down to 65, but same scenario as gold. You want to be long if you break above 75.74. Bitcoin is still doing nothing. It's still double inside month, and it is still tightening up. So you've got your low, your high, higher low, lower high, higher low. So see how it's just tightening up. So you want to wait for that break, whether it's up or down, you don't know, but wait for the break. Again, these white levels are your inside month, so that's really going to be the important level. So 45.8 and 34.3. XLV healthcare sector. I have this on the list because I'm not going to go through all the sectors, but I did think it was important to point out at least the leader and the laggard. So as far as sectors go, healthcare has been the strongest. It's got green full time frame continuity on the monthly, weekly, daily, and it's well above its previous pivot high, whereas most things are not. Okay. And then the lagger, I have utilities because this is, I think, the only sector today that actually had a red day. So it's a red day. It closed as an inside week. You are basically at all-time high exhaustion risk. You are at the top of a broadening formation, being something like that. So you have an inside week. So next week, if you break this week's low, so if you break below, we'll call it 70. So target 1 is not much. It's only, 37 cents. But then if we continue down, you'll want to use the lows of the daily candles. Since this week is so far away in such a big range, you want to default to a smaller time frame. And real quick, I just want to draw your attention to this tweet. I called out 14 tickers and said that they are potential outside weeks. I essentially told you where the price was going to go based on the 50% rule. If you don't know how to play potential outside bars, you are at such a huge disadvantage, and I really encourage you to learn. I have several videos on them. So I posted 14 tickers. Guess how many hit their target? All 14. Okay, this is huge information. It's basically like having a crystal ball. Like, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty positive that we are going to become an outside week. Therefore, I know what my target is. Therefore, I can select that option strike and get huge percentage gains, even if it's just a couple of contracts. Try it out, play with it. Okay, so for example, here's the Tesla weekly time frame. Now you can apply this rule to any time frame. You can apply it to the daily, to the weekly, to the monthly. I am telling you, when we hit 824, it's a potential outside week. What does that mean? It means your target is 866. Your first target is 866. That is a $42 gain. Okay? And if it continues to go, your next target is the next candle. And then the next candle. And then the next candle. I feel like people sleep on those posts when I say it's a potential outside week because they don't understand it. So let's see. So from 824 to 866. I'm telling you, you can make 5% in equity and a whole lot in options. I have videos. You can search the hashtag. It is, again, you can just click on the hashtag. And then look at this. You will stumble upon a gold mine of people that I have taught the 50% rule to, who are using the 50% rule, who are showing you real examples in real time or following along in their trade. Renee, it's just countless examples. So seriously, I'm very passionate about this rule. It's literally a single strategy all on its own. And there's so much information on it. Just search the hashtag. Going in the next week, you already know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a pullback and then resumption of bullish trend, because you know people got FOMO from this. So they're going to be waiting to get in. They're going to be waiting on a pullback And then they're going to be putting their stops at the low of that pullback, and they're going to be getting in. In Tesla, on the monthly time frame, you hardcore Tesla bulls really want to get over 950 psychological. Super long-winded video, but hey. All right, hope you guys killed it. I will see you next week, and I will see you on Twitter. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Bye.